I died, choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal as sharp as the pills I'd swallowed. Convinced it was the only way out after my family framed me for their dirty little empire of lies. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my body 3 years earlier. Heart pounding like a jackhammer in that cramped Brooklyn apartment, the exact morning they decided I wasn't worth the plane ticket to paradise. And now, with every ugly secret clawing its way to the surface, I was going to make them pay. Not with fists or fury, but with the cold precision of a woman who'd already lost everything once. The alarm blared like a siren from hell, yanking me from the void. I bolted upright in bed, sheets tangled around my legs like restraints, gasping for air that didn't taste like copper and regret. My hands flew to my throat, smooth, unmarked. No phantom ache from a noose I'd improvised in that dingy motel room off the Jersey Turnpike. It was July 15th, 2022. Not 2025. The year I'd finally snapped. 3 years ago. The day my phone buzzed with a group text from Mom. Family vacation to Maldives locked in.
Sorry.
Jules. Budget's tight. Next time?
Love ya.
Budget's tight.
Right.
Because Dad's consulting firm was bleeding cash from all the offshore accounts they'd hidden after the IRS audit I took the fall for. I'd forged the signatures. Sure. But only because my brother Ethan swore it was temporary. A white lie to keep the lights on at Harrington and Sons, the family real estate dynasty we'd all slaved for. I'd believed him. Believed them. And when the feds came knocking, it was my neck on the block. 18 months in federal lockup for wire fraud. My law license shredded. My fiancé bolting like a rat off a sinking ship. Released early for good behavior, but the whispers followed me. Junkie. Thief. Black sheep. The final straw? Walking in on Ethan and my best friend, Sarah, in our old family beach house, laughing about how they'd handled me. That's when the pills went down easy.
But now?
I was back. 28. Not 31. Pre-prison ink on my skin. Pre-betrayal fire in my gut. The apartment smelled like stale coffee and unfulfilled dreams. Not despair. My laptop sat open on the kitchen counter. Browser tab glowing with Expedia flights to Malé. Ironic, since that was the trip they were planning without me. I could hear Ethan's voice in my head. Smooth as silk. Come on.
Sis.
It's just business. Family first. Right? Family first. Yeah. I'd make sure of that. I stumbled to the mirror, half expecting the hollow-eyed ghost from my last life. But there I was, Juliet Harrington. Sharp cheekbones, auburn hair in a messy ponytail, green eyes that used to sparkle with ambition before they dulled to jade. Harvard Law 18, top of my class, the golden child who'd traded all for a corner office at Dad's firm.
Now.
I knew better. The secrets weren't buried deep. They were right there, in the cloud backups I'd stupidly deleted after my confession. Or thought I had. First things first, coffee.
Black. No sugar.
The way I'd learned to drink it during late nights poring over case files. As the pot gurgled, my phone lit up. It was the group chat. Harrington Hive. Mom, excited for Maldives. Ethan, confirm the villa?
Dad, on it.
$28,000 for the week. Worth every penny. Ethan, Jules, you in NYC still? Miss you.
But yeah.
Funds. Sarah, babe. We'll send pics. 2 hearts, babe. She'd called me that right up until she slid into my brother's bed. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, rage bubbling like the brew in the pot. In my old life, I typed back a heartbroken have fun, then spiraled into oblivion. This time, I deleted the thread, blocked them all, then opened my banking app. Pre-prison Juliet had a nest egg, $150K for my trust fund, untouched because I'd been too loyal to touch it.
Loyal.
What a joke. I wired $30,000 to a travel agent I'd remembered from a parallel life. Hell, I'd invent one if I had to.
Overwater villa.
Private plunge pool. Chef's kitchen. The works. By noon.
Confirmation pinged. Bubbles villa.
Conrad Maldives, Rangali Island. $28,000. All in.
Non refundable.
My heart raced, not from fear, but from the thrill of flipping the script. They thought I was out. I'd be sipping champagne on a deck they could only dream of crashing. But revenge wasn't a solo act. I needed proof. The fraud wasn't just Ethan's idea. Dad had greenlit it, cooking books to dodge taxes on flips in the Hamptons. Mom turned a blind eye, funding her Botox empire with dirty money. Sarah? She'd been the mole, feeding Ethan intel on my doubts. And me, the patsy, the sister who signed her life away for family unity. I'd confessed to protect them, thinking blood was thicker. It wasn't. It was a noose. I booted on my old external drive, the one I'd stashed in a safety deposit box after release. Password: Harrington forever. Files flooded the screen, emails,
Wire transfers.
falsified deeds. Timestamp: 2021.
Pre-arrest.
Ethan to Dad. Joel's will sign. She's a soft touch. Sarah to Ethan. Tell her it's for the greater good. She's in love with the idea of us all winning.
Love. Ha.
I forwarded copies to a burner email, then called a contact from my law days, Marco Ruiz. PI with a nose for white-collar dirt and a grudge against rich pricks like my family. Juliet? Been a minute. Heard you got out clean. His voice crackled over the line. All Brooklyn grit. Cleaner than you think.
Marco.
I need dirt on Harrington and Sons. Deep dive, offshores. Shells. The works.
A pause.
That's heavy.
Cost ya.
10 grand upfront. Results in 48 hours.
Deal. But why now?
Thought you were done with that circus. I glanced at the Maldives itinerary printing out. Let's just say I'm planning a family reunion they won't forget. He chuckled. Atta girl. I'll text the drop. By evening, I'd packed light, sundress,
Heels that could stab.
and a thumb drive of ammo. The red-eye to Dubai connected to Malé left at midnight. As the cab idled outside LaGuardia, doubt flickered. Was this insane? Booking a fortune on a whim. Jetting off to confront ghosts in paradise. But then I remembered the motel ceiling. The chemical burn in my veins. Ethan's smirk as he toasted my recovery at a fake intervention.
No.
Insane was letting them win again. The flight was a blur of bad movies and better wine. Economy. Because fuck their luxury lies, I'd upgrade on the seaplane. Touchdown in Malé at dawn. Humidity slapping me like a wet towel. The seaplane ride was magic. Turquoise lagoons unspooling below. Atolls like emerald commas in the Indian Ocean.
Bubbles villa whited.
A glass palace on stilts. Waves lapping beneath like applause. The staff greeted me with lays and mimosas. MS. Harrington. Welcome. Your family arrives tomorrow? I smiled. sharp as a switchblade.
Oh,
They'll be here. One way or another. Unpacking, I slipped into a bikini, dove into the infinity pool. The water was silk, the sun a balm on scars that hadn't formed yet. For the first time in 2 lifetimes, I felt alive. Powerful. But power's a drug, and mine was laced with venom. I emailed Marco. Status? Reply, goldmine. Cayman accounts. $2 million laundered through Joel's name. Dad's emails, incriminating AF. Sending dossier tonight.
perfect.
Phase 1 lore. I posted on the old group chat, unblocked just for this.
Surprise. Booked Bubbles Villa.
Come join? Doors open tomorrow.
No emojis. No worms.
Just bait. The replies flooded. Mom. Joel's?
How?
Ethan. WTF.
Sis.
Thought you were broke. Sarah. OMG. Yes, but. Villa's ours? Dad, call me.
Now.
I let it simmer. Called room service for lobster thermidor and a bottle of Veuve. Ate alone on the deck, watching dolphins arc in the distance. By nightfall, the dossier hit my inbox. PDFs of transfers. Voice memos of Ethan coaching me through the forgeries. Sign here. Joel's. It's nothing. A photo. Dad and his consultant, a Cayman fixer, shaking hands at a gala. The secret they'd buried? Not just fraud. Insurance scam, torching a property for the payout, pinning the arson suspicion on me when inspectors sniffed around. I'd laughed it off then.
Covered for them.
Idiots. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of flames and handcuffs. Morning brought the seaplane wine. My family's arrival. I watched from the villa's shaded lounge. Heart a war drum. They piled out. Mom in oversized shades. Dad barking at the transfer boat. Ethan and Sarah hand in hand. All Louis Vuitton and entitlement. The boat docked at my private jetty. I stepped out, barefoot in that white sundress. Glass of rose in hand. Juliet. Mom's voice cracked. Fake pearls clacking as she air-kissed nothing.
This.
This is ours. I tilted my head. Smile glacial.
Was.
Now it's mine.
Come in.
We've got catching up to do. They filed inside, oohing at the teak floors. The sunken lounge with its 180-degree ocean view. Ethan clapped my shoulder, too hard. Sis. How the hell? You in the lottery? Something like that. I poured drinks. Spiked mine with resolve. Sarah cooed over the plunge pool. Oblivious. Dad eyed the bar tab.
Calculating.
We settled on the deck. Breeze teasing palms overhead. Small talk first, work. Weather. The flight's delays. Then I dropped it. Remember the Hamptons flip? The one that caught fire? Dad's scotch paused mid-sip. Ancient history. Honey. Not for me. I slid the dossier across the glass table. Pages fluttering like indictments. Ethan's face drained of color. Sarah choked on her mojito. Mom whispered. Joel's. What is this? Justice, I said. You framed me for fraud. Arson suspicion. Everything to keep your yacht fund afloat. I went to prison for it. Lost my career. My life. Lies tumbled out, denials.
Tears.
Ethan. It was for the family. You were always the strong one. Sarah. I love him.
Joel's.
It just happened. Dad. We can fix this. Money. Whatever you need. I laughed. A sound like breaking glass.
Fix?
Like you fixed me. The controversial part hit then. My decision. Not cops. Not leaks to the press.
No.
I'd wired the evidence to their biggest client. The one Dad wooed with golf weekends, Senator Hale. Up for re-election on an anti-corruption platform. Of course. By week's end, headlines would scream, real estate mogul's family in fraud probe. Careers torched. Literally. You wouldn't, Mom gasped, clutching Dad. Watch me. I stood, waves crashing below like judgment. Enjoy the view. Boat leaves at dawn. Or stay and explain to the feds why Juliet Harrington's suddenly so generous. They begged, bartered. Ethan offered shares in the firm. Sarah, friendship. But I was done with scraps. As night fell, stars pricking the velvet sky, I locked myself in the master suite. Phone buzzed, Marco. Leaks live. Hale's office just called the IRS.
Sweet.
Dawn broke crimson. They boarded the boat silent, luggage dragging. Ethan's last look, betrayal's mirror. Mom sobbed. Dad muttered curses. Sarah flipped me off, classy. I stayed another week, snorkeling reefs, journaling the rot I'd excised. Back in NYC, the news hit, raids,
Arrests.
Harrington and Sons crumbled. I started over, new firm, pro bono for the framed.
Clean. But the twist?
In that villa, alone with the dossier, I'd found one more file, my own email, time-stamped post-arrest. Ethan, tell them I did it.
Protect the family.
I'd volunteered the noose. My mistake. Not just theirs. Redemption's a bitch. So, is forgiveness. I chose neither. Just truth. And damn, it tasted like victory. Excluded from family vacations, booked a $28,000 Maldives villa, leaving them speechless. The seaplane's engines faded into the horizon, taking my family's ghosts with it. But the villa felt emptier than my bank account after the wire. I paced the deck, Rose sweating in my grip, the Indian Ocean mocking me with its endless blue calm. Victory? It tasted like ash. Because, as the adrenaline ebbed, the what-if slithered in. What if I'd called the cops myself? Clean and legal? What if I'd let the courts sort the Harringtons like the trash they were?
No.
That was pre-prison Juliet talking. The girl who believed in due process and family picnics. Post-death me? She knew the system's rigged for suits like Dad, who'd lawyer up with the best while I rotted in Rikers. I dove into the lagoon, salt-stinging eyes that had cried enough tears for a lifetime. Surfacing, I spotted a pod of spinner dolphins, flipping like they owned the waves. Freedom looked good on them. On me, jury was out. Back inside, I fired up the villa's smart TV, CNN International. Because why not watch the fallout in paradise? Nothing yet. Just stock tickers and talking heads on climate summits. My phone, though, voicemails piling like indictments. First, Mom. Voice warbling like a bad opera. Juliet Marie Harrington. You call this instant. This is betrayal. After everything we've... Click. Everything they'd done to me. More like. Second, Ethan. All Big Brother charm cracked at the edges. Sis. Whatever you think you know, it's not the full story.
Come home.
Let's talk.
I
need you.
Need.
The word that got me every time. Third, Sarah. Sniffling. Joel's.
Please.
It wasn't like that. Ethan and I, we were scared.
For you.
Don't throw us away. Scared for me? They'd throw me under the bus first. I deleted them all. But not before screenshotting for the digital pyre. Marco texted. Feds at the office. Dad's yelling about warrants. You a ghostwriter for this? I replied. Ghost.
Period.
Keep eyes open. Then, because isolation's a slow poison, I called the one loose end from my old life who hadn't cut ties, Lena Vasquez, my college roommate, now a hotshot editor at Vanity Fair. She'd visited me in prison, smuggling contraband Snickers and sanity. Juliet, where the hell are you? Your Insta's blowing up Maldives?
Spill.
I laughed, sinking into the villa's sectional. Feet up on a coffee table worth more than my old apartment. Long story. Involves rebirth, revenge, and a $28,000 fuck you fund. Rebirth? Girl, you sound like my abuela's telenovelas. Start from the top. So I did. The fraud, the frame job, the pills. Waking up. The dossier. The leak. Lena whistled low. That's some Lifetime movie shit. But real. You okay? Okay's relative.
I just nuked my family. Feels like.
Exhaling after holding breath for years.
Write it, she said.
Anonymously. Op-ed. The cost of family loyalty. I'll run it. Tempting. But exposure's a double-edged sword. Cuts them. But nicks me too. Maybe. After I decompress.
Vi chattar till sunset.
Her gossip about Manhattan mergers pulling me back to solid ground. Hung up. Ordered grouper ceviche and a sunset cruise. The captain, a Maldivian named Ahmed with a gap-toothed grin, steered us through atolls as bioluminescent plankton sparked like fallen stars. First time solo? He asked, pouring Eric. First time free, I corrected. We talked politics, his country's tourism boom versus U.S. inequality. America's the dream, he said. But dreams got sharks underneath. Ain't that the truth? Back at the villa, buzzed and buoyant, I cracked open my laptop. Time to rebuild Juliet 2.0. Research bar retakes, possible. With a clean record now. Scour job boards for boutique firms hungry for ex-con talent with insider edge. Even flirted with a TEDx pitch, from felon to phoenix, owning your narrative. But sleep evaded. Ghosts knocking. In dreams, I was back in the courtroom. Judges gavel a thunderclap. Guilty. Flash to the motel. Mirror reflecting a stranger's despair. Then Maldives now. Family faces twisted in the deck lights. Hurt. Yes. But was it real? Or just the mask of the entitled? Day 3 dawned with rain. Sheets of it drumming the roof like accusations. Power flickered. I lit candles. The villa turning intimate. Confessional. Pored over the dossier again. Hunting for the why. Ethan's emails revealed cracks. Dad's gambling debts. $500,000 to Vegas bookies. Mom's spa retreats in Dubai. Facelifts funded by skimmed escrow. Sarah's role? She'd been Ethan's side piece since law school, feeding him doubts about my loyalty to the firm. The buried secret deeper than fraud, Dad's affair with a Cayman fixer, a woman half his age, producing emails laced with pillow talk and plot. Get Juliet to sign, or we're sunk, and so's your little beach house in Anguilla.
Sunk.
like me. But the real twist? A memo from me. Pre-arrest. I'll handle the signatures.
Tell the team it's legit.
I'd known the risks, whispers of audits. Red flags on transfers. Chosen family over future. My crime? Blind faith. Rain eased, I snorkeled anyway. Reef teeming with parrotfish and moral ambiguity. Surfacing. I decided. Controversial move number 2. No full exposure. Not yet. I'd give them an out for a price. Text to Ethan. NYC. 1 week. My terms. Or the senator gets the full packet. Reply. What terms? Confession.
Public.
And the firm mine. Bluff. Half. I'd never run that snake pit. But the threat?
Pure venom.
He agreed. Back to the States tomorrow. Flight home was first class this time. Perks of victory. Jet lag hit like a brick in JFK. But so did the headlines. Harrington real estate probed in multi-million fraud scheme. Photo. Dad in cuffs outside the brownstone. Mom's stone-faced beside. Ethan and Sarah MIA. My doorman buzzed me up. Rough week. MS.
Ash.
Paparazzi downstairs. Ruff's relative. Inside. The apartment felt alien, pre-death pristine. No eviction notices taped to the fridge. I crashed. Woke to Lena's call. Op-ed draft? And holy shit. Your family's front page. Sending soon. But first, coffee ritual. As it brewed. A knock. Unexpected. Peephole. Ethan. Disheveled in a hoodie. Like a kicked puppy. I opened the door a crack. Terms? He pushed in. Eyes wild. Joel's.
Stop this.
Dad's heart. Doc says stress could kill him. Kill him. Laughter bubbled. Bitter. He killed me first. Slow poison of lies. We circled the living room like duelists. He spilled. The debts. The desperation. How Sarah complicated things. I love her.
But you.
Your blood. Blood that signed your sins. I tossed the Cayman photo. Dad. And the mistress. Mid-embrace. This your greater good? His face crumpled. I didn't know. Liar. But doubt crept. Had he? In my old life. Prison calls, his voice cracking. Hang in there.
Sis.
Visits with contraband books. Maybe not all venom. Controversy peaked. My decision. Confess. Tomorrow. Press conference. I'll back your play, say it was a family misunderstanding. Me included. Firm dissolves. Assets split clean. Or I walk. And you fry. He nodded. Broken. For you. Next day. The Pierre Ballroom. Flashbulbs popping like gunfire. Dad frail in a wheelchair. Mom Botox frozen. Ethan at the podium. Voice steady. We take full responsibility. Errors in judgment. No intent to defraud. Me beside. Arm linked in his photo op for redemption. Whispers. Sister saves the day. Bullshit. But it bought peace. Twist? Post-conference. Sarah cornered me in the ladies. You win. But Ethan's mine. Slapped a USB, recordings of me. Post-release. Ranting to her about ending it all. You think you're the victim? We all are. My stomach dropped. I'd confessed my despair to her. The friend. She'd held it.
A bomb. But now?
Gifted back.
Why?
Because fuck Juliet Harrington. She spat. Stormed out. I kept the USB. leverage, or closure. That night, alone, I listened. My voice.
Hollow.
They're destroying me.
Sarah.
What's left? Her reply. Fight back. She had, in her way. Not all black and white. Firm dissolved, I pocketed my share. Enough for a fresh start. New office in Soho. Specializing in whistleblower rights. Ethan vanished to rehab. Dad recovered. Retired to Florida. Mom?
Silent. Me?
I booked another trip, solo.
Cheaper.
Not Maldives. Yellowstone. American as apple pie. Wild as my second chance. But in quiet moments, I wondered, rebirth a gift or curse? I'd avenged. But the scars? Eternal. Yellowstone's geysers erupted like my unresolved fury, steam hissing warnings into the Wyoming sky. But even Old Faithful couldn't wash away the grime of half-truths from the press conference. Back in Soho 2 weeks later, my new office smelled of fresh paint and possibility, glass walls overlooking cobblestone streets, a desk piled with case files for the overlooked. Harrington Advocacy, the brass plate read. Irony? I'd turned poison into purpose, defending the framed like a guardian angel with devil's horns. First client, a nurse from Queens, accused of Medicaid fraud by her hospital to cover executive bonuses. Her story mirrored mine, loyalty exploited, silence bought with threats. They said it'd ruin me, she whispered over chamomile tea. Family first, right? I leaned forward, the Maldives sun still bronzing my arms. Family's a myth when it costs your soul. We'll sue. Discovery will bury them. She nodded, tears tracking mascara. As she left, my assistant, fresh-faced NYU grad named Tyler, poked his head in. MS.
Ash.
Marco Ruiz on line 1. Says it's family business. My gut twisted. Picked up.
Marco.
Thought we were square. His laugh was gravel. Never square with Harringtons. Your brother's asking questions. About the leak. Thinks you're behind it.
Ethan.
Of course. And he wants a meet. Neutral ground. Says it's about Dad's will. Dad's will? He was 62. Not 92. Where? Central Park. Bethesda Fountain. Noon tomorrow. I hung up, staring at the skyline. Controversial decision 3. Trust the snake? Or sever? I chose the park, public, poetic. Noon sharp. I arrived in power flats and a trench, coffee steaming like my suspicions. Ethan waited on the steps. Thinner. Eyes shadowed under the angel statue. No Sarah. Good. Joel's. He stood, hands jammed in pockets. Thanks for coming. Spit it out. Rehab not agreeing. He winced. Clean 30 days. But that's not, Dad's sick. Real sick. Pancreatic. Nuts. Maybe. The world tilted.
Cancer.
The ultimate betrayer. Why me? Call Mom. She's in denial. Botox and brunches. He pulled an envelope from his jacket. Yellowed. Sealed. He left this for you. Before the... Everything. I snatched it. Fingers numb. Dad scrawl. Juliet, read alone. What's in it? Read it.
His voice cracked.
Then decide if you hate us forever. I walked away. Envelope burning a hole. Back at the office.
Look door.
I slid it open. Pages. Heron. Ink bleeding like confessions. My dearest Jules, if you're reading this, I've failed you worse than I knew. The firm wasn't empire building, it was survival. Your grandfather built it on redlining deals in the 70s. Loans to white suburbs only. I inherited the rot, tried to whitewash it with green initiatives. But debts piled, gambling. Yes, but mostly guilt. That fire in the Hamptons? Not arson. Faulty wiring I ignored to cut costs. A family died, Martinez family. Immigrants chasing the dream. I paid hush money, pinned suspicion on you when investigators circled. You signed the insurance claim, thinking it routine.
God.
I twisted it. Ethan knew fragments. Push the fraud to plug holes. Sarah, innocent pawn.
Caught in our web.
But me, the architect. You took the fall because I whispered you'd shine in the spotlight. Protect the name, I said.
Lies.
Forgive?
No. Fight.
Use this stocks enclosed. Full ledger. From Grandpa's sins to mine. Expose if you must. But no, I loved you fiercest. The golden girl. My regrets the ocean.
Dad.
Enclosures. Ledgers. Photos, Martinez family. Smiling at a barbecue. Names, Rosa. 34, Tomas. 8, Elena.
5.
Dead because of corner cutting. My signature on the claim. Val Rose. The buried secret? Not just fraud. Manslaughter by negligence. I retched into the trash bin. World spinning. Ethan texted you, okay?
No.
But rage reignited not at him, but the patriarch. Controversial? Hell yes. I could bury it. Play the dutiful daughter at his bedside. Or weaponize. Class action suit. Naming Harringtons in the Martinez wrongful death. Justice for ghosts. Chose both. First, hospital visit. Dad's room sterile. Beeping monitors a dirge. Mom hovered. Lipstick smudged. Juliet. He asked for you. Dad's eyes. Milky now. Found mine. Read it.
Yeah. You said.
Envelope crinkling. Why tell me now? Time's thief. He coughed. Phlegm rattling. Fix what I broke. Mom gasped. Robert. Quiet. Elaine.
Weak.
But steel. She's earned truth. We talked. Halting.
Raw.
His regrets. My prison scars. Ethan's complicity. Sarah's flight to LA. Modeling gigs over mess. She bailed. I asked. Guilt, Dad rasped. Smart girl.
No.
Coward. As visiting hours ended, I kissed his forehead, salt on my lips. I'll fight. For them.
Outside.
Rain slicked the streets. Tyler drove me home. Silent witness. Apartment empty. I pored over ledgers till dawn. Patterns, decades of discrimination. Profits from pain. Grandpa's redlines starved Black and Latino neighborhoods of loans. Inflating bubbles that burst on the poor. Lena called at 6 a.m. Op-ed time. Bigger. I outlined the will. The Martinez fire. Book. Exposé. Empire of Ashes. She hooped.
Deal.
But you? Front and center? Anonymous ghost.
No.
Full name. Juliet Harrington. Unmasked. Press exploded when I filed the suit. Harrington heir sues own family in landmark negligence case. Pundits debated, redemption arc or revenge porn. Protests outside the brownstone. Justice for Martinez. Ethan's interview on MSNBC. My sister's brave. We're owning it. Brave or vengeful? The controversy peaked at deposition. Dad.
Wheeled in.
Voice a whisper. Lawyers circled like sharks. MS. Harrington. Opposing counsel sneered. You profited from the firm. Complicit. I signed what they put in front.
My voice steady.
Blind. No more. Gavel fell. Settlement. $15 million to Martinez estate. Firm assets liquidated for reparations fund. Dad passed a month later. Peaceful.
They said.
I spoke at the funeral. Rain lashing the grave site. He built walls. I'm tearing them down. Ethan hugged me after. Sarah absent. Proud of you. Joel's. Don't. But I didn't pull away. Twist deepened. Probate revealed Dad's codicil. Firm remnants to me. With strings, build better. I did. Advocacy expanded. Grants for housing equity. Lena's book hit NYT bestseller. My story.
Raw.
Redemptive. But nights? Maldives dreams, deck confrontation. Waves judging. I'd left them speechless.
Yes.
But the real silence?
Mine.
Echoing with what-ifs. Rebirth gave second chances. Not clean slates.
Idebanja.
Rebuilt. Cost? Family fractures. Soul searching. Worth it? In America's grind, where dreams drown in debts.
Yeah. Ide surfasa.
Shark or dolphin?
Both.
The reparations fund ballooned to $20 million by spring. Checks cut to families gutted by Harrington redlines. Bronx row houses denied loans. Detroit blocks left to rot while Grandpa flipped Manhattan penthouses. My Soho office became a war room, maps pinned with injustice hotspots. Clients rotating like a carousel of the cheated. Tyler joked it was Avengers for the aggrieved, but the weight pressed, each victory a brick, building a wall against my own ghosts. Dad's death lingered like ozone after lightning. His codicil a compass. Build better. Easier said than done in a city that chews dreamers and spits bones. Ethan checked in weekly. Sober voice on voicemails. Therapy's kicking my ass. Miss you. I listened. Deleted. Forgiveness? A luxury I hadn't budgeted. Sarah? Radio silence. Until a glossy tabloid blind item. Ex-model spills on real estate royalty. Revenge romance gone wrong. Her tell-all? I bought it at a Hudson newsstand. Pages curling like accusations. Chapter 8. Juliet's shadow. Me painted as the jealous harpy. Pushing Ethan to fraud out of sibling rivalry. Lies. Laced with half-truths. My prison rants. Twisted into mania. Rage simmered. But controversy called. Sue for defamation? Or let it burn? Fuel for the book tour? Lena advised. Ignore. Your op-ed drops next week. From frame to freedom. Let facts fuck her narrative. The piece ran in Vanity Fair. Black and white photo of me against the Brooklyn Bridge. Eyes defiant. Excerpt. I died in a motel. Pills dissolving loyalty like acid. Reborn. I chose truth over blood. America's families aren't fortresses, they're fault lines. Inboxes flooded. Invites to podcasts. Offers from Netflix for a docuseries. Reborn betrayal. The Juliet Harrington saga. Tempting, but exploitative. I countered. Pro bono consults for Me Too whistleblowers in corporate clans. One stood out, Carla Ruiz, Marco's sister. Ex-CFO at a tech startup. Framed for IP theft by her CEO husband. He said it was us against the world. She confessed over Zoom. Face pixelated in tears. Then poached my code. Blamed me when VCs sued. Us against the world. Echoed too close. We'll gut him, I promised. Discovery unearthed emails, his plotting her downfall to cash out stock. But the twist? Her signature on the transfer logs. I trusted, she sobbed. Trust is the first casualty. We won. $8 million settlement. Her name cleared. Post-trial drinks at a dive in the village. Marco raised a glass. To sharks eating sharks. I clinked, but my mind wandered Maldives, that deck. Rose in hand. Families, please. Had I gone too far? Leak to Senator Hales sparked the probe. Sure. But Dad's cancer? Coincidence? Or karma's cruel math? Ethan's next call broke the dam. Joel's.
Can we talk?
In person.
No agendas.
Reluctant. I agreed. Our old haunt. The Dead Rabbit. Financial district. Dim lights. Whiskey neat. He slid an opposite. AA chip glinting on his keychain. 6 months. Congrats. Neutral. He exhaled. Dad's service. You were right. I was complicit. Pushed the fraud because I thought it'd make me the son he wanted. Not the fuck up. Fuck up. The word hung. You weren't. Just human. Human enough to let you rot. Tears tracked his stubble. Sarah's book? Bullshit. She's in LA. Chasing influencers. Left when the checks bounce. Schadenfreude flickered.
Died.
What now? Forgive me? Whispered. Like a prayer. Controversial crossroads. Absolution or exile. I sipped. Burn steadying. Not yet.
But.
Coffee sometime? Sober. His smile cracked dawn. I'd like that. Back home. The envelope from Dad resurfaced in a drawer purge, ledgers yellowing. 1 page, a list.
Handwritten.
Harrington, debts owed.
Not money, names.
Victims, the Martinezes. Yes. But more. Jamal Washington. Denied loan in 95. Business tanked. Rosa's sister. Evicted post-fire. Reparations expanded. A foundation. Harrington reckoning. Me at the helm. Launch gala at the Met, black tie. Biting satire. Donors mingled. Activists.
Ex-client.
Even Senator Hale. Handshake firm. Your leak? Best anonymous tip I got. I smirked. Ghosts work cheap. Ethan showed clean-shaven. Dateless. We danced a stiff waltz.
Small talk thawing.
Proud of the fund, he said. Don't get mushy. But I didn't pull away. Twist uncoiled that night. Post-gala. Drunk on vintage cab. I scrolled Sarah's Insta. Yoga poses in Malibu. Captions blessed. DM impulse. Read the book. Truth hurts? Reply pinged instant you won. Happy?
No.
But close. Healing. You should try. Blocked her. Again. Summer sweltered. I escaped to the Cape, solo.
No villas.
Beaches stretched. Waves eroding doubts. Lena's book deal finalized. Advance 6 figures. Ghostwriter optional. I wrote it raw. Chapters bleeding first-person fire. Rebirth wasn't magic. It was rage refined. Fall brought trials. Carla's ex countersued, alleging alienation. Courtroom clash. Him and Armani, me and Will Crape. She knew the risks, he bellowed. New trust. I countered. Jury wrapped. Verdict, his loss. Her gain. Post-trial. She hugged me. You gave me my life.
Life.
Plural now.
Mine doubled.
Ethan's coffee became weekly, diner booths. Black brews. Stories swapped, his sponsorships, my cases. One rainy Tuesday, Dad journaled.
About you.
Juliet's the spine we lacked. Tears pricked. Late, but true. He reached, hesitant. I let him. Brother's hand. Not betrayers. Controversy crested winter. A client, teen hacker framed by big tech for ethical breaches. His defense? I'd coach him to testify on privilege. White kid from Scarsdale versus algorithm bias. Pundits roared. Harrington's crusade. Justice or anarchy. Fox called me radical. MSNBC.
Hero.
I leaned in. Presser outside courthouses. Megaphone in hand. America's tense because truth is. Deal with it. Backlash bit. Death, threats.
Doxing.
Tyler beefed security. Marco tailed shadows.
But the win?
Kid cleared. Sued against the corp for $50 million. Headlines shifted. Reborn advocate topples titans. Holiday loomed. First without dad. Ethan invited. Brownstone. Just us. Mom's trying turkey. I went. Table set modest. Candles flickering. Mom's smile brittle. Family.
Yeah.
Turkey carved. Stories spun, no fraud tales. Just childhood Christmases. Laughter cracked ice. Twist's final turn. Under the tree. Ethan's gift, a photo album. Pre-betrayal shots. Us kids at Coney Island. Dad hoisting me on shoulders.
Inscribed, second chance. Love. Bro.
I teared up. Mine a key. To what? Storage unit. Dad's. Letters from Mom.
Me.
Apologies. Unmailed. We read them later. Wine loosening tongues. Mom's. I failed you. Chasing perfection. Ethan's. I envied your light. Dimmed it.
Raw. Real.
Forgiveness? Slipped in quiet. Like dawn. Not erasure, acknowledgement. I love you idiots, I said. Laughter echoed. Family. Faulted but mending. Revenge's arc bent toward grace. Maldives?
Speechless then.
Now? Words enough. New Year's Eve glittered over Times Square. But I opted for quiet rooftop at my building. City sprawl, a diamond quilt below. Champagne fizzing against the chill. Ethan's arm around my shoulders felt tentative. Earned. Mom chattered about charity galas. Tyler FaceTimed cheers from a Bushwick party. The fund thrived. $25M dispersed. Neighborhood stitching back from Harrington scars. Lena's book proofs arrived that week. Empire of Ashes. My byline bold. Advance party at her loft. Literati toasting. To Juliet, phoenix of the payback. But phoenixes shed feathers. And mine molted doubts. A late-night call from Marco. Loose end. Sarah's back in town. Talking to reporters. About the real story. Real. As if her venom topped truth. I met her at a neutral cafe in Midtown, neutral as a snake pit. She looked polished. Blonde extensions. Yoga-toned. Latte art swirling like her lies.
Joel's.
Truce. For what? Your book's sequel?
She sighed.
Performative. I was hurt. You ghosted post-prison. Ghosted? You bedded my brother while I rotted. Fair.
Sip.
But Ethan's changed. Rehab glow. You? Healing.
Pause.
Why spill now?
Money.
Podcast deal. Betrayed by blood. Your side's inspirational. Mine's gritty.
Gritty.
Code for trashy. Controversy siren. Expose her pitch. Sue for interference? Or bait. Guest spot. I tell my truth. You get clicks. Her eyes lit greedy.
Deal.
The pod dropped bombs. Her tears. My steel. Listeners split. Forums ablaze. Sarah's victim too?
Nah.
Juliet's the boss. Ratings soared. She got her bag. I my platform. Posty. Coffee turned confessional. I envied you. Always the smart one. Envy's poison, I said. Detox. She nodded. Left lighter. Loose end tied. Not strangled. Spring bloomed scandals. The teen hackers corp appealed, dragging me to SCOTUS briefs. DC. Hummed, cherry blossoms veiling power plays. Senator Hale's office. Your intel started this domino. Dinner?
Dinner. Steak at BLT.
His wife charming. You're the whisper that roared. Roar's echo, I quipped. Alliance forged. Bill co-sponsored. Harrington Act. Whistleblower protections for family firms. Irony? Named for the villains. Ethan dated. A barista. No drama. Normal's nice, he grinned over burgers. Mom downsized to a co-op. Volunteering at the fund. Making amends, she said. Eyes soft. My book launched summer, signings from Strand to Powell's. Fans queued. Ex-cons. Betrayed spouses. One. You gave me guts to leave. Another. Forgave my sis. Thanks.
Guts. Grace.
The balance. Controversial capstone. Maldives redux. Not revenge, reunion. I booked Bubbles again. $28,000 echo. Invited them. Come.
Heal.
They did, seaplane whining. Faces wary. Deck at sunset. Same golden light. Mom. Beautiful. Ethan. Like deja vu. Sarah?
No.
Her choice. We talked. Real. Dad's letters. Prison isolation. Fraud's fallout. Tears mixed with laughter. Ethan's rehab fails. My courtroom wins. Plunge pool dips.
Chef's feast.
Night 4. Bonfire on the beach. Dossier pages fed to flames. Ashes scattering on tides. Twist, I said. Embers glowing. I thought rebirth was for revenge.
But it's.
Be right. Ethan nodded. We get one plot. Make it count. Back stateside. Life layered. Advocacy humming. Book sequel brewing. Fault lines. Mending America's families. Romance flickered. A prosecutor. Sharp wit over wine. Your story?
Epic.
Epic's exhausting. I laughed. But his kiss? Electric. Twist's tender close. Anniversary of my death. July 15th. Alone on the Brooklyn stoop.
Coffee black.
I texted the hive. Grateful. Replies poured. Ethan's love you.
Sis.
Mom's proud. Lena's boss.
No ghosts.
Just echoes.
Fading.
Revenge started it. Redemption ended it. Speechless? They were.
Once. Now?
Voices joined mine, flawed. Fierce.
Family.
In America's tense tapestry, I'd woven mine, threads of betrayal.
Bound by choice.
Second life, sweeter for the scars.